You think a $50 fix is harmless. You think a little epoxy here, a twist of wire there, or a backyard alternator swap is saving you time. But the moment you bypass approved parts or certified maintenance, you're gambling with more than your aircraft. You're gambling with your insurance, your hangar, and in some cases, your life. Some DIY repairs are obvious hazards. Others are invisible time bombs hiding in your fuselage, wiring, or under your cockpit floor. Every FAA advisory, maintenance bulletin, and insurance surveyor's eye is trained to spot them. And when they do, coverage disappears. Which shortcut tops the list? Let's start with number 10. 10. Twist-on wire connectors. Those orange twist-on wire nuts you'd use in a basement? Not allowed in aircraft. Cheap, fast, convenient, but illegal. Aircraft wiring experiences constant vibration. Every takeoff, landing, and engine start shakes the airframe. Fine stranded aircraft wire works loose inside a twist-on connector almost immediately. Resistance rises, insulation heats, and sparks appear. You won't notice smoke at first. The tiny arc inside the wire nut is invisible. But it can ignite nearby insulation, avionics wiring, or even fuel vent lines. FAA Advisory Circular 43.13-1B forbids non-certified connectors on aircraft wiring. Insurance adjusters won't argue. If they find a homestyle wire nut where a crimped, tinned, heat-shrink terminal should be, your claim is instantly denied. Fix: remove every twist-on connector and replace with FAA-approved crimped, tinned, heat-shrink terminals. Anything less is a fire waiting for takeoff. 9. Solid core household wire in cockpit or avionics bay. You grabbed a roll of Romex because it was cheaper than aviation wire. On land, fine. In your aircraft, a ticking time bomb. Aircraft wire flexes constantly. Engine vibration, turbulence, and control surface motion fatigue solid core copper quickly. Cracks develop inside insulation, hidden cracks. Under load, arcs form. Insulation melts. Components fail. FAA standards require stranded, tinned, aircraft-grade wire for exactly this reason. Surveyors spot the yellow or white jacket immediately, write fire hazard, and insurers deny claims. Fix: rewire all non-approved solid core wire with stranded, tinned, aircraft-grade wiring. Never improvise with household materials. 8. Non-certified ball valves in fuel lines or plumbing systems. PVC pipe and hardware store ball valves look clean and easy. But when installed in fuel systems, cooling lines, or pressurized hydraulic circuits, they are catastrophic waiting to happen. PVC becomes brittle under heat, UV, and vibration. Hardware store brass valves corrode in aviation fuel, failing under load. FAA advisory circulars and manufacturer manuals mandate aviation-grade components that meet pressure, vibration, and corrosion standards. One failed valve can dump fuel into the engine bay or cabin, leading to fire, explosion, or structural damage. Insurance treats this as gross negligence. Fix: replace any non-certified valves or piping with FAA-approved aircraft-grade fuel or hydraulic components. Never compromise on pressure ratings or materials. 7. Automotive alternators or components. You find a Delco alternator at a junkyard for $60 and it looks like a deal. Mounted in a car, fine. Mounted in a gasoline engine compartment? You've wired a detonator. Automotive alternators have exposed brushes and vents. Every revolution sparks tiny arcs invisible in daylight but deadly around fuel vapors. Gasoline fumes are heavier than air and pool low in the engine bay. One stray spark can ignite it. FAA guidance requires aircraft-certified alternators designed for enclosed, flammable environments. Insurance adjusters see a non-certified alternator, a fire-damaged engine compartment, and the claim is instantly denied under explosion exclusion. Fix: always install FAA-certified alternators or other power components. Safety isn't optional, and neither is coverage. 6. Loose or improperly secured batteries. A car battery wedged under the cockpit floor with nothing holding it down is more than sloppy, it's a direct path to fire. FAA AC 43.13 specifies that every battery must be secured in a box, tied down, and protected against accidental shorts. Wake turbulence, hard landings, or sudden maneuvering can tip a loose battery. The positive terminal contacts a grounded surface. A 1000 amp arc can melt copper, vaporize insulation, and ignite hoses or upholstery. If hydrogen gas is present, the spark can create a blast. Surveyors see scorched wiring, blistered paint, and cite AC 43.13 violations. Claim denied. Fix: install a proper aviation battery box, strap it down securely, and include a main fuse at the source. Anything less is gambling with your aircraft and your policy. 5. Glued on hardware or cleats. A cleat or stanchion glued to the deck with epoxy instead of through bolts looks tidy, but the illusion is deadly. Adhesives alone cannot withstand the dynamic loads aircraft experience, sudden tension, torque, or vibration. When a sudden load snaps the glue, the hardware becomes a projectile and damages nearby systems. FAA inspection will cite improper installation, and insurers will deny claims if glued fittings fail in flight. Fix: use through bolts with proper backing plates for any structural hardware. Adhesives should only seal, never hold structural load. For portable propane or LPG devices in cabin. A small camp stove or propane heater in your cabin may seem convenient, but aviation standards are clear: any liquefied petroleum gas must be stored in vented, overboard draining lockers. Gas is heavier than air, leaks pool, and one spark ignites the cabin. USCG and FAA safety bulletins catalog dozens of cabin fires from portable propane each year. Insurers see this as gross negligence. Any claim after an LPG incident with non-compliant storage is automatically denied. Fix: remove portable LPG devices entirely. If propane is required, install a marine or aviation certified vented locker system with regulators and solenoids. 3. Improper lithium-ion battery swaps. Dropping a lithium-ion battery into a tray designed for lead acid is not plug-and-play. Lithium cells pull massive current, stressing alternators, wiring, and regulators. Without a battery management system, BMS, designed for aviation integration, you risk alternator overheating, wiring fires, or full thermal runaway. FAA guidance and manufacturer manuals require lithium systems integrated with aircraft charging systems. A melted alternator or scorched wiring is immediate grounds for claim denial. Fix: treat lithium as a full system upgrade, BMS, lithium-compatible alternator, proper fuses, and wiring rated for higher currents. Anything less is a fire hazard and avoided policy. 2. Blast over keel or structural bolt covers. A neat layer of resin over structural bolts or fasteners hides corrosion but creates a silent killer. Stainless steel needs oxygen to resist corrosion. Trap it under resin, allow a bit of moisture, and you have crevice corrosion. Bolts weaken from the inside out. FAA inspectors and insurance surveyors treat this as concealment of a defect. If a hidden bolt fails in flight or under landing loads, the result is catastrophic structural failure and total loss. The policy is void due to misrepresentation. Fix: expose all critical fasteners, inspect for corrosion, replace as needed, and document all repairs with a certified mechanic. Brutal honesty is the only insurance-safe path. 1. Non-certified repair or modification anywhere. The number 1 DIY violation? Any repair or modification not approved or documented by the manufacturer or FAA. Every shortcut, every close enough fix, every non-certified part is a red flag. Insurance and FAA regulations don't care if the fix seems safe or saves money. If it's undocumented or uses non-certified materials, coverage is null. A tiny mistake, a homemade baffle, a glued nut plate, a jury-rigged hinge, can turn into total loss in a moment. Fix: always follow manufacturer service manuals, FAA ACs, and use certified parts. Document every repair. Bring in a certified mechanic or inspector when unsure. There's no room for improvisation in aviation safety or insurance compliance. Across all 10 banned DIY repairs, one truth emerges: aircraft insurance is not forgiving of shortcuts. The invisible hazards hide in plain sight: cockpit wiring, battery trays, plumbing, and structural fasteners. Every non-certified repair or component is a red flag. Every shortcut gambles with your entire policy, not just your plane. In aviation, good enough doesn't exist. Only standards, certified parts, and documented maintenance keep you covered. One careless fix could cost hundreds of thousands, destroy your plane, or worse, take lives. So check your hangar. Inspect your cockpit, engine bay, wiring, and plumbing. Are any of these banned DIY fixes hiding in plain sight? If so, fix them now, properly, with certified parts. And if you want more insider knowledge on owning and maintaining personal aircraft, hit subscribe. Every video is designed to save your plane, your wallet, and your peace of mind.